Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. Just gonna be a actually twofold video. Big VCLT thanks to a couple of people, and just some recent finds as well. So let's just kind of really dive right into it. And I'm gonna start off with the VCLT because I want to make sure I take the most time and give thanks for that first. But a really quick, like 30, 45 second story about this first VCLT because I think it's so funny. If you look at the very last video I did, it was a response to a thread, and the thread was simply albums that you would love to have issued or reissued on vinyl. Okay, and so it just so happened that at a different spot in my music room, as I mentioned in the video, uh, a week or two before I even thought about doing this thread, I decided just to put up on the wall as decoration. I just wanted to pick out some records that I had always wanted to have issued or reissued on vinyl. Then at some point in time they were, and I was really excited about it. So I lined up the wall with some of those records. So I thought, let me shoot the video in front of them. So I did, and I talked about those records, and I mentioned how, yeah, I'd said in videos in the past that I always wanted these records reissued, and they were. So then I also made the comment in my last video, something on the lines of, so I guess when I do these videos, it's kind of putting it out into the universe what albums I want, and then eventually they seem to end up getting issued or reissued. So it'd be a good idea to do this video again. So I did my response. I kid you not. I do the video. As soon as I get done, I upload the video. I go downstairs an hour later to check my mail, and there's a package sitting there that I have no idea. Wait a minute, I don't have anything coming, at least not this size. I'm expecting one record, a single record to come in, but this came in a bigger package, and I was like, what is this? I come upstairs and open it up. This is an hour after making the last video, and sure as crap, right on top is one of the records I just mentioned in the previous video that I would love for them to reissue on vinyl because I want it so much. So it only took the universe an hour to get one of those back to me this time, and I had no idea it was coming. And this was from my boy Brad over at V2 Vinyl. I'm sorry, H2 Vinyl. Um, it just totally cracked me up. I could not stop laughing about it that day. But it was this album right here, which is EPMD Business Never Personal. And that's the letter that Brad sent me there. But I don't know. I could not freaking believe it. I wanted this album for so long. As you can see, obviously it's been issued before, but like a lot of this old school hip hop, especially that '90s stuff, it's not easy to find, not easy to find in great condition. And then you have this fantastic piece that just shows up out of the blue, and I had no idea that it was on the way. And not even an hour after I made the video saying how much I wanted a copy of this. So the universe answered pretty well. So I think I'm going to go in and do another video here really quick and post it to say I just want $100 million, and we'll see what the universe does with that. But yeah, fantastic album. EPMD is one of my favorite hip hop bands from the late '90s or early '90s, going into the late '90s, and yeah, just a fantastic piece that I wanted. If you haven't heard this album before, definitely the first song I recommend checking out is Crossover. That's my favorite track off of this. And just great, great artists that really utilize a lot of the old school kind of funk, like that Roger and Zapp type of beats and sampling. They used a lot of that, which is what I love so much. So yeah, I could not believe this freaking just showed up. So Brad, man, I mean, you talk about just a smile on my face all day long. This is literally Grail status for me right there. So I cannot thank you enough. That was really awesome. And then he also added two other pieces in there. And this is good too because this is one area where I'm not as knowledgeable, if you will. When it comes to old school hip hop, what I mean by old school is if you look at mid to late '90s, more so mid '90s back, especially going into the late '80s and early '90s, all about that. But more recent hip hop groups, I'm not really that familiar with a lot of them. I'm not knowledgeable in that overall. So it was kind of cool that he sent me this copy of The Jewels, because I've seen this album in record stores a bunch of times, but just never took the time to really check it out and see what it was. But this is Run the Jewels, and I did get a chance to listen to the entire thing, both LPs, and Brad, it is pretty good, man. I actually like it. The one thing I say about a lot of modern hip hop artists is when they actually show creativity, and they're not just making some words rhyme and adding a bunch of cuss words in between, but actually showing the creativity of an artist. Uh, that's just something that I tend to respect, and it's much easier for me to like them. And that's definitely kind of what I found with this album. A few of the beats and stuff that were in here were very kind of almost 80s-ish type of beats and everything, which was something else that I really kind of liked. So, yeah, an album I probably never would have checked out on my own, but I definitely appreciate you sending that one over to me because I really did like it. So, great new addition to the hip-hop collection there. And then the third piece that Brad had in there, and I haven't listened to this one yet. Well, actually, I take it back. I listened to one side. And this is Czarface, Every Hero Needs a Villain. So like I said, I've only listened to one side of this yet, so I don't really have a full take on it. But as soon as I do get a chance to actually really listen to both LPs and take it in, I'll kind of let you know what I think about it. But again, another nice introduction to hip-hop artists, and I just was not familiar with in any way. And oh shoot, he did send me a shirt too. I should have grabbed that before I started shooting this video. But he sent me a very nice t-shirt too of, I guess, one of the local record stores that you go to. So again, all of that coming, and had no idea that it was on the way. So Brad, man, thank you so much. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Moving right along, the next person that I want to give a little bit of thanks to, a lot of thanks to for that matter, is my boy Billy Hurst. You guys, of course, know him here in the VC. I was just actually over at his place about a week or two ago. We were hanging out and just kind of, talking, spinning some music, all that good stuff. Talk about a guy whose collection, too, has just been going like, I mean, he shoots his videos all the time and so forth. When you actually get a chance to go to his home and kind of look through his collection and see what he has, it's just like, good gracious, man. So, yeah, love my boy Billy. And one of the things he hooked me up with was a piece that I've been wanting for quite some time, which is this very nice Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Southern accents. I purged my copy a long time ago, so I've been wanting to get another mint copy in hand, and Billy was able to grab one for me. So very, very cool VCLT piece from him. So I appreciate that. And then he also hooked me up with a few 45s too. OD by the Last Poets. Very cool, kind of a spoken word type of thing. Poison, Nothing But a Good Time. You guys know that. How Will I Know, Whitney Houston. And then Mr. Telephone Man by New Edition. And of course, Cool It Now by New Edition. So some nice, fun pieces added to the 7-inch collection. So yeah, Billy, thank you very much for that, brother. Appreciate it to no end, as always. Always great to see you. Always great to hang out and chat. It's all just a blast. And his wife is also amazing. She's fun to hang out with and stuff too. So when she's there, it just adds to the laughter and everything else. So it's awesome. And then last but not least, I want to thank Troy, because he sent me over a couple pieces too. Definitely kind of tapping on my 80s love. So the first one that I want to kind of show here is this one here, which is it's a 12-inch by E.J. Daily, Mind Over Matter. Really cool one too, because I don't have this, and E.J. Daily is one of my absolute, just, I'm not gonna say crush type of thing, but just when it comes, she's just a artist slash actress that I've loved so much throughout the years, because she represents so much of what I loved about the 80s in the role she did as acting and in her music. So she's just kind of one of my 80s queens, kind of thing. She's right there with my Molly Ringwalds and all that good stuff. So it was kind of fun to get this piece, which is from the soundtrack, actually, Summer School, I believe was the name of the soundtrack, or the name of the movie. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I do remember it was hilarious. especially the two Psycho guys that were all about, you know, the horror movies and all that stuff. It was kind of funny. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you sending that over. Great addition to the 12-inch collection, and most likely I'm going to put this in a frame and put this one on the wall because again, EJ Daily is just, that's my girl. And then another 12-inch here they sent me, which is Julie Brown, Girl Fight Tonight. Another single there. I definitely know that song very well. Again, Julie Brown being one of those wacky ones from the 80s. And this is Goddess in Progress. He also sent that one over as well. So some very nice 80s love from Troy. So yeah, appreciate that very much, my friend. Especially that EJ Daily one. It's always nice to get more of her stuff because I don't find a lot of that floating around. So appreciate that. And yeah, really, all three of you guys, man, thank you so much for thinking about me, and I really, really appreciate it. Now, these next ones I'll kind of flip through fairly quick, but these are just kind of recent finds. I actually found a good sale on some of these things. First one here is Alan Parsons Project. And this is iRobot. And I actually just got a nice original pressing of this not too long ago. And so to stumble across this nice 2 LP set on the MoFi was really, really cool. So great pickup there. And then a number of music on vinyl pieces. This is Santana, Caravansera, I think that's how you pronounce that. But yeah, very good Santana album. The cover definitely captures exactly the feel and the sound that you get from this. So it's just kind of Santana doing his cool rock thing with all that worldly feel added to it. And just a really, really great album that sounds fantastic on the music on vinyl pressing. So really happy to get my hands on that one. Beverly Martin. Was not extremely familiar with her, but I had, heard a couple of her things here and there. But I mean, I found this, geez, I think I ended up getting this for like $9. So again, very nice music on vinyl pickup. And yeah, you listen to the first side, decent record, definitely kind of good. But going to the second side is really where it's like, oh, songs like A Nighttime, probably the best track on the album. And then she also does a cover of Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. And when I say cover, it's more so the lyrics are the same. It sounds nothing like the instrumental portion of Levee Breaks. But really, really cool stuff, kind of hippie-ish, kind of soulful, but was definitely, I was pleasantly surprised at how the entire album was. So that was good. A few additions to the blues collection, which you have a little Kev Mo here. This is Keep It Simple. Good Kev Mo stuff a little bit later. The thing I would say about this really is a little more so a soft R&B album than it is a blues album. It's like a blues man singing more R&B songs. So, it's not deep blues like I tend to associate more so with Kev Mo. Like, unlike this self-titled piece. Again, nice music on vinyl pressing. There. So those were the MOVs that I picked up. I did end up getting a copy of this from Record Store Day. Another nice Overkill, The Electric Age. I've not cracked it open yet to actually listen to it, so I'm not 100% sure how it sounds, but it is on neon green vinyl, which is, never a big attraction for me. But still, I mean, they keep pushing this Overkill stuff out on vinyl, and that's just fantastic. There's so much of it that we've needed for so long, and still a lot that we do need. I was just kind of chatting with Ron the other day through some comments, Rod Haggerty, and like one of the ones that we both really want to see is Necroshine. I mean, I so hope that's the next Overkill that they press on vinyl. Then I hope they go back and do I Hear Black. Those will be the next two on my list, but especially Necroshine, because that's my favorite Overkill album. But yeah, they're consistently doing it, so I've been very happy with the Overkill reissues. Now, the other night when I was over at Billy's place and we were, one of the subjects that we brought up was to, bring a few albums that started with the letter B. You know, we come up with different things just to have, you know, some stuff prepared. And so one of the ones that he put on was this Bon Jovi, this first Bon Jovi album. You know, and I remember the song Runaway and all that good stuff. But you know, early Bon Jovi, I mean, really Slippery When Wet is when I discovered him. So I never really went back to the first one or two albums that came before that. But say I knew the song Runaway and all of that. But as he kept playing it, the song She Don't Know Me came on. And I was like, holy cow, I have not heard that song in freaking 20 plus years. It was one of those songs that I remember hearing a few times, loved it, melody was seared in my head, but just frankly had no idea who sang it. And sure as crap, I'm like, that's Bon Jovi? You gotta be kidding me. So had to go out and pick up a nice copy of that, which is really cool. Next piece here was The Cure. The top, for me personally, no like gigantic smash hits off of this album. This is just one of those pleasant Cure albums to listen to from start to finish because it all feels and sounds like The Cure. So definitely a great album just to kind of put on and let play absolute from start to finish every time. So that was another very good pickup. And we also picked up the Stone Temple Pilots, their newest album. And, you know, wasn't quite sure what to expect with this, you know, because, of course, Core is my absolute favorite Stone Temple Pilots album, especially when you go back to just sound, feel, the sonic nature of that album. I think it is one of the heaviest albums ever. You know, there may be stuff that's faster, maybe harder, you know, all that kind of stuff with other, you know, metal, thrash, and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to just thickness and punch and just the heaviness of the album, I venture to say there's nothing much harder than Core out there, in my opinion. So again, coming into this, you know, new album, new tracks and all of that, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but was actually pretty pleasantly surprised. Side one was a little but as soon as we flipped over, what was the very first song on side two? I need to go back and look because it's not labeled clear. I only listened to it once all the way through. But that very first song on side two and one other one on side two as well was just like, that's the Stone Temple Pilots that I knew and grew to love. So again, I've only listened to it once. I need to really sit down and kind of take it in a bit more, but was definitely pleasantly surprised with that. All right, now the next one here, this is actually one that I picked up from watching Jeff's video, 33 RPM vinyl. You know, he does a great job in his videos where he's always showing new stuff, and he does these nice needle drops while he's showing things. And so I've picked up a number of different albums just from watching his videos, and this was another one, which was White Shape, Perfect Dark. And this is actually a somewhat local group. I think they're actually from Illinois. Kind of a, I don't know, kind of a mixture of, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's more of kind of a light psychedelic feel to it. But yeah, so he did a couple needle drops and I loved it. And then I was not freaking out, but I got online looking for a copy and I was like, oh, there's none on eBay. There's none on Amazon. Like, where do you find this? And I called my local record stores, a couple of them, see if they had it. And come to find out, like I said, it's a local group that's basically just kind of selling it off of their or a website is the only place where you can really get it. So, yeah, if you like, you know, modern groups kind of doing the psychedelic thing, I definitely recommend checking them out because I really love that album a lot. And so thanks, Jeff, for introducing me to that. And last but not least, here's another pickup here, which is Grand Funk, self-titled there. Now, as you can see, this has the red sticker on the front, so with some of the ring wear and stuff like that, I'm not going to officially put this in my collection, but this is also an album that I just don't stumble across that often, and I think stumbling across a mint one is really going to take quite some time, so I'm definitely going to keep this copy and spin it and enjoy it until I find a nice mint copy. But great record. You know, just that grand funk, classic rock type of thing is so fantastic. And I know it's not that bad, but it's just enough with that solid cover that it kind of bothers me enough where it's like I just want a really nice one. But good stuff there as well. So anyway, there you go, VC. Like I said, that's stuff that's come in over the past couple weeks, as well as the amazing VCLT stuff. So again, you know, Brad, Troy, Billy, you know, all you guys, thanks so much for thinking about me. Always really awesome to receive cool stuff like that. And as always, VC, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.